Hi, and welcome to the second episode of our podcast, Voting with Your Life, brought to you by Eurodesk. My name is Ike, and I'm here with my colleague Lexi, and with Moiz from Pakistan today, who lives in Germany. So we will keep exploring how and why people are leaving their countries around the world, and what are their motives. So, yeah, Moiz, tell us about you. Who are you, and how would you describe yourself?
All right, thank you so much for your time to both Lexi and Ige. So my name is Moiz. I'm from Pakistan and I'm living in Germany, specifically in Düsseldorf for like 4.5 years now. Uh, why I moved here is basically for studies. The main important goal was to study like for my master's degree. And the reason behind my relocation or to move to Europe was basically lack of opportunities in my home country, unfortunately. And there are so many things which are going and still going very bad in terms of corruption and stuff. So I was thinking, like, actually, I got an information about the master's program in Germany or the education in Germany through my friend who was also there with me. And one night he just called me and said, "Let's go to eat some food at some restaurant." I said, "All right." I didn't know that time that he was going to say about this, but whatever. So I went with him, and then we were talking about starting our masters because we finished the degree of the bachelor's degree together. So we were talking about what is next and what we should do. And I was actually looking to relocate to probably Australia or maybe US because I have like relatives living there. So that was in my mind in at the start. But then he was telling me about Germany, like how life there, and I didn't know that the education is also free there. So that was the plus point or the most
Yeah.
important point. I got okay, let's Google about it, and then like we talked about like how we can apply and stuff, but we had like the very vague idea like how to start the process. The next day, I was searching on myself, like by myself, like what are the things which I need to do to apply to the program and get enrolled and stuff, and then what is the visa process would be and everything. So, and during that time, I was researching a lot on my own, and thankfully, I got all the information on the internet. It takes a lot of time, of course, but like how to Google it, then you can eventually find the information. So what happened is I was like marking some universities. Maybe you know the Dart platform, the Dart.da. So I was Googling on that, and I was researching on which degrees or like universities are good to apply, and some require some fees to apply. Some were totally online. Some need some post documents to send. So the things were like these are the criteria. I was like, okay, I need to do that, and I was also looking for like English language master's program. So I needed to do the IELTS exam or TOEFL. So I preferred IELTS, and then I was like I took maybe 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks to prepare for IELTS, and then during that time COVID came. So everything was like, yeah, I was at that moment I was just researching about it. It was 2020 to 2020. So I was like, okay, let's stop this. And then I was just looking for things to do, like at home, just googling. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. But eventually, like after 1 year or maybe a little bit more, when the border were open and the flights were like taking place more often than not, then I decided, all right, I applied like in I think 5 or 6 universities, and I got enrolled in three or maybe two, like accepted. Sorry, not enrolled, accepted. And then I was looking, okay, I need to pick one, which will be the best for now for me. And then I choose one which is in Ilmenau, like it's in the eastern part, close to Erfurt or Leipzig. So I decided to enroll in that course. And then I said, all right. And then the next stage would, like, yeah, during that time, I also passed the IELTS exam. I needed like 6.5 bands. I got 7.5. So that was good. So yeah. So then I said, all right. The next step was the biggest step I would say was to submit the blog account. Maybe you know the blog account, but maybe the viewers won't know. So I will explain what is the blog account. Basically, if you are moving to Germany, you need to open a blog account, which basically at that time it was 10,600 euros. Now it's more than 11,000. I forgot the exact amount, but it's something 11,000 now. But at that time it was 10,600 euros to deposit in the German bank account with your name. And when you arrive to Germany, then you will get the whole money back one by like a on monthly basis, like in 12 months. So you are not paying anything, but you are just depositing the money. And the reason is that German government needs an confirmation that you won't be starving to death in when you arrive. So basically, that money is just the security deposit, and when you come to Germany, they will give you all the money which you have deposited. But it was a huge amount in terms of the currency difference and everything. But thankfully, my parents helped me, and also I had some savings which helped me a lot. So that's how I arrived in Germany. I arrived at Frankfurt airport, and I was with one of my friend actually. So, and as I said, like during that preparation time, it was COVID. So thankfully, I also got a lot of time to get to know the culture and the bureaucracy, whatever German laws and everything. I was researching a lot on YouTube or specifically on Google, like how the things work because it's a lot different compared to my home country. So I got very used to it very easily, like at the beginning, at the very early stage. And then when I arrive, I need to do the 2 weeks quarantine as part of the procedure there. So yeah, I did quarantine, which was quite tough time actually because you cannot go outside anywhere, and you can just they gave us some contact numbers to whom you can contact and ask if you need some grocery and stuff or need to buy something
May I
during
ask
the.
when that was exactly?
Sorry, when I arrived,
Yeah,
it's 2021 July. Yeah.
July. And you stayed at Frankfurt Airport in a
No,
quarantine
no, no, no,
hotel?
no, 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 no. The thing is, I need to go to as I got admission in Tilmenau.
Mm-hmm.
So from Frankfurt Airport, I need to take the train to
Okay,
airport and then another train to Ilmenau. And when you reach Ilmenau, to your basically, I have the accommodation already from the student dorms. So when you go there, and then you just have to fill one form online that I have arrived at this time, and then from that time your quarantine starts.
I see.
So that's how it works, yeah. And when you arrive at the Frankfurt airport, there you have to fill one form as well, which basically tells like where are you going and when are you arriving and when is the expected time to that you will reach your accommodation and stuff. So that basically the data they need in terms of to know that someone has arrived in Germany during that time. So that's
Did
how
you
they
know
work.
about these procedures earlier?
Yes, basically, how I knew about this COVID procedure was because some of my friends or like my classmates arrived before me, like so a few days before me. So they told me about how is gonna be working there. So I knew that, but of course, to do that is a different thing, but to know that is a different thing. So I was like prepared, not well prepared, but still prepared. So that's how I ended up. Yeah.
And you just said you had like friends who were telling you about it.
Mhm.
Um, so you did not come alone to Germany, or you did?
No, one friend of mine came with me actually,
Okay.
but yeah, but some I won't say friends, but some colleagues or like my classmates were already there who were studying because I started like the course started or the semester started in April, but my visa took a little bit of time, so I arrived in
Mhm.
July. So during
Yeah.
from April to July, it was online. Actually, it was online throughout the first semester because of COVID. but like I was doing having an online classes in Pakistan as well. So
Mhm.
so that's how I got contact with them, and then they were like helping me like and they also helped me, for example, for the grocery and stuff in the beginning when I had to do the quarantine and stuff.
But the same colleagues are in the same university, right? You came from
Yeah, yeah,
Pakistan and you're in the
yeah,
same degree as well. And by
yeah.
the way,
We were actually applying together most of the time. And when we got accepted in the same university, we said, all right, let's do this. And yeah,
and what was your master?
my master's is in computer sciences, informatics.
Okay. Uh, do
How
you think
come?
that
Right.
wait, Ike, just one question about the masters, because I, as a Portuguese person, like I just followed the news from Germany, like the Tuele Instagram account. Uh, I know that they are always looking for skilled workers, talented workers. Do you think that if it was like a different masters, it would also be like accessible for you to go there and study it, or like because it's computer science, it's more digital, more necessary. It open more
The
doors.
thing, if I understood your question correctly, it's like more theoretical based or practical based. You mean, right?
No, I mean that. Um, do you think you'd also like be accepted in Germany as a student if it was like if you were like a history bachelor?
Oh, okay. I think it would be difficult. First thing, or the benefit of computer sciences specifically or engineering domain is in Germany specifically is you can find, for example, English speaking jobs as well, rather easily compared to others. For example, if you are a history student or maybe medical student or maybe environmental or something like that, then it's very hard for you if you want to study or continue in English. So you need to learn German. For me, I'm when I arrive here, I enroll myself in a German course, of course, but it wasn't mandatory or it wasn't that much important compared
Mhm.
to other domains. And another thing is, for example, if you're engineering student or let's say IT student, and you're applying for the jobs, the thing is there is one thing called blue card, which basically gives you the right to stay after your studies as a
Mhm.
skilled worker, as you said. So that also, for example, for IT students or not IT professionals or engineering professionals, the amount for the monthly, or sorry, for the annual varies is like quite low. For example, you can earn 45,000 euros annually, and then you can apply for the blue card for IT, let's say.
Mhm.
But if you're, let's say, you are a medical, like a medical professional, I'm not sure about medical actually. Let's skip medical. But let's say you are historic in the history, or maybe you are in some environmental field, or maybe some other field, not non-IT field. Then it's like around 55,000. So it also varies.
Mhm.
So IT has a benefits, more benefits than other field in Germany, I perceive, and also they have like more competition as well at the same time because there are so many people and there are so many jobs as well, but there are so many people who are competing for the same spot as you. So right now, since the Ukrainian war, especially after the Ukraine, not after, but still going on, unfortunately, the things are getting more complicated because almost everyone is arriving or looking to move to Germany, and because of these wars, unfortunate circumstances, everything is has imbalance, you can say.
Mhm. Ike, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a lot now that you told us so much about you, actually.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about the preparation when you were still in Pakistan and you were trying to figure out how the system in Germany works, kind of?
Okay. So the hardest part was to know all the information actually that which is true or not. For example, you're living in Germany and you're my friend, and I have some information, some questions to ask. I call you and ask you how the things work, like the course, like about something. You tell me something which may be outdated, and then I checked on internet, which is something different. So to know the legitimate or the real info or the the recent info is quite hard because some people say something different. Because I also had relatives who were living in Germany and they were saying something different, which wasn't making any sense to me. For example, they were saying, "Yeah, you can come here and then you can do this." For example, as I said, that was quarantine time, and they were saying, "No, you don't need to do quarantine. We can do other things, and like you don't have to do." But when I checked on internet or on the official sources, it says you have to do, otherwise you have to pay maybe around 10,000 euros fine.
Yeah,
You know, but,
fine.
yeah. So I was
There
like,
goes the
no, I
loophole.
don't want to take, yeah, I don't want to take any risk with right now. And I really like, I was like not talking to them at that moment, and I was like, okay, I will just follow what is important, which means like what I can see on the official resources. I will just follow that, and I won't follow any other advice, any other people advices. I won't say that they are wrong, but maybe they don't know that much because they are already there, or maybe they are there like way before me, and the situation changes, the everything changes. So, and also in the beginning, like to when I arrived, for example, in Germany, it was cold and not that cold, but compared to my country, it was cold. So to acclimatize with the weather was a bit hard. And also because at the same time you cannot go outside for like 2 weeks, which is a lot. And I was like, okay, I have to. I was like in one room for the whole 2 weeks, and it was quite hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you feel like those official sites that you were talking about would have been better in German, that they provided more information in German, or was that okay in English?
Okay, so most of the websites which I googled or checked the official sources were in different languages, like especially in German, in English, in Arabic, in Turkish, and also some are in Spanish or maybe in Portuguese as well. So they are like multiple options which you can look for, and they have like all the information for real, especially for like because I googled a lot about Germany and everything, so I got a lot of information very easily, not easily, but like all other information were available. So if you for example, if my advice to others who are willing, who are like looking to move to Germany or anywhere especially, so they should invest some time from themselves to study, to learn about themselves, learn about like themselves. So if you are like only focusing on others to give you the information, then I think uh, you are not. I would say I forgot the word. You are not you. You shouldn't come, for example, because you have to invest yourself in your future or whatever you can call it, and then you can ask for guidance or help or maybe some advice from others. Of course, you can contact your friends or family who lives there, of course, but you need to check on yourself as well, which is I think very important.
Yeah. Lexi mentioned earlier that Germany, and that is true since I'm German, I know, that they quite often say we need people from other countries to come here to work for us, which is like a phrase that kind of, yeah, probably sounds very like racist even in your ears, because what do you mean you need me in a way of like work, you know? I can like give so much to you in a sense of culture, in a sense of different perspective, in, you know, like multiple aspects, and they only value you for the job you can do. Is that something you perceive like that, or is it different for you?
So sometimes yes, sometimes no, I would say, because at if you look at the from one point of view, of course you are right. Like why they say that they need me and everything and stuff. Like wherever I am is I'm good and whatever. But sometimes feel like okay, although they say that they need, for example, foreigners to work for them, which is true. Yes, they need it, but at the same time, they made it so hard for others to relocate or to migrate to their country and to study there or maybe to work there. Like there are so much, for example, taxes and everything that the new person will be like, they say that they need us, but eventually maybe they don't need us, they just need the taxes. So the thing is, the one of the main reason why they said this thing is, if you're like a German national and you are retired, then they have to pay you for the rest of your life, some amount which you are they have to pay you. And there are so many people who are like German national, who are like above age, who are retired, and they have like that people a lot of those people, they need to pay, and they have a shortage of workers who can basically pay them taxes. So that's why they need foreigners especially to work for them, because when the foreigner retire, they don't need to pay to the foreigner as they are paying to the German national when they are retired. So this is one of the reasons, because there are so many people who are getting money from Agenda for Arbeit or Job Center, mainly Agenda for Arbeit when you're retired. There are some amount with the calculation only they know, I don't know, but because they have to pay them for their like houses or maybe cars and grocery whatever, they have certain amount they need to pay. And how can they pay when they don't earn the money? And the way they can earn the money is to have the people who can work for them and give them taxes. That's how the country works. So right now they say like they are shortage of workers, which is true. But at the same time, I see many jobs. They like, for example, company A posted a job, company B posted a job, company C posted a job, and then after 1 week they posted it again, and then they are just doing reposting. They are not hiring anyone, but they are just reposting. So that's another thing which some companies or many companies are doing, just to show them that we are earning a lot. But unfortunately, most of the companies are like either in bankruptcy. Like for example, when I was working in my last company, it got bankrupted, and there are so many examples which I've seen, known from many colleagues of mine or many people who I know in Germany. Like they lost jobs because of these kind of things, or maybe they left by themselves because they are like it's like too difficult to work there, or like too much pressure and stuff. So this is kind of a catastrophe right now.
But do you see yourself living in a country that is so, like, that is behaving towards you in that way, that is a catastrophe, as you were saying?
It's not like behaving against me. Like, for example, it's happening to almost everyone. It's not targeting to one individual or specific people or group of people. It's unfortunately, I don't think so. It's their fault. That's how it's basically working. Because, as I said, because of war, the condition is also not good in other countries as well. For example, the Ukrainian-Russian war, if it wasn't the case, if it's not happening, maybe the condition would be better throughout the world. You see many countries, they are in a state of like, for example, I'm talking again, like for example, Israel and stuff, and other countries, they're all in a war or in some kind of problems. For example, I was talking to Lexi and he was telling me a lot of issues in Portugal itself. So every country has some issues which they are dealing with. Doesn't matter if they are like very much stable countries or not, but there are a lot of issues. And I don't blame German bureaucracy for that, that they had this issue, but they have to deal with it somehow. That's why they say that we need workers. And what they can do probably maybe is like to make things easier, to make a pathway easier for the skilled laborers or skilled workers to arrive to Germany, or maybe who are already in Germany, to find the jobs more easily. How can they do that? Probably they can ease the way to for the interviews and stuff, or maybe they can uh, maybe pay a bit higher salary compared to what they are paying right now. Maybe it could work. I'm not sure, but maybe they can try. So I'm not gonna blame them, but it is what it is right now.
So you
Okay,
say
I want to.
like the barriers are too high right now and they should reduce them. I see.
I think that's something that people actually say as a meme about Germany, but many countries have this like a web of bureaucracy that it's really hard to navigate, even for nationals. So when you are, especially coming from a different language, even if the language is English itself, it's going to be more difficult. We are getting like halfway through the episode, so I wanted to ask about something else, which is, and so for context, me and Moiz have met in Erasmus, so I know that Moiz is a really outgoing person, very friendly, very extroverted, and I want to ask, how has it been in Germany to make friends? Like, do you have other friends that are German? How easy was it to make them? Do you easily go to parties and make new ones constantly? Or do you feel like German people are cold like the stereotypes? Because that's a
Okay.
stereotype we get in Portugal is the southern people of Europe are very warm and they make friends, and in the north they are like, no, there's no sun, I'm going home.
Don't be
Other
scared.
than Berlin.
Before I answer your question, first of all, Slavic people, Portuguese or South Americans, Spanish, whatever, they are different breeds. So I cannot compare them with German at all because it will be kind of very hard to compare Germans with them as in a friendship way. So it's not that hard, but it's not that easy as well. For example, in Germany, I have more people who are not Germans, but maybe from other countries. For example, I have a lot of people from Ukraine. I have a lot of people from other European countries like Poland, like Slavic people. I have a lot of Slavic friends. Even in Düsseldorf, where I live, I have more Spanish friends or the South American friends than others. So that is true. But for example, let's say you are in a like to make friends. For example, as you said, you go in a bar or you're talking to Germans, and then it's easier. It's not that difficult, but it's not that easier because, for example, they basically they want you to speak German. I don't speak that good German for now, at least. So I can communicate with them, but when they start, like, for example, if you are in a bar and there is a lot of noise, it's very hard to understand what they are saying. So that is one thing, or you are in a club, whatever. But the thing is, they prefer someone who is German, mostly, not everyone, mostly. If you remember in the German team in our last Erasmus, there was no German actually. There were either other country from other countries. The guy was Dutch, Joshua.
We have
So
10 people
then,
from the German team, and we had Pakistan, Bangladesh, Austria, Netherlands. We had like one that is German citizens, but from like an ethnic minority, the Serbians, not Serbians, and like everyone was from different places. So that was actually
yeah.
very cool.
Let it like I've for example Erasmus I did like 10, 11 Erasmus, and most of the time German team is always like this. Not every time, but most of the time. So the thing is to make German friends is a bit challenging. But at the same time, if you get the German friend, then they are pretty much outgoing with you as well. But it depends. For example, I have like two German friends, only two, as I said. So they are pretty outgoing, but they don't live in Düsseldorf, so we don't meet often. But when I go to their cities, or sometimes they arrive, especially in the Cologne Carnival, which happen in like normally in February every year. So there, that time we meet. Otherwise, I have like more other European or Ukraine, Slavic, or Russian friends than others, compared to others. And they are, to be very, very honest, they are more outgoing, more friendly, more easy to talk to, and more, they are more willing to integrate you, or so that's more easier, I would say, compared to the Germans. But that's true, but that it is what it is.
So you would say if like speaking German in Germany is very important.
Yes, yes, yes. I would say that's a good thing as well, because if you are living in a country, you should speak their language. At least you can get better. But when someone expect you to be like the top notch, then that problem comes. Because I can speak German, I can talk to the people, but not in too much depth, because then they speak too faster, and then it's like, oh, what are they saying?
Yeah, I
So
get it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the worst German speaking person in this call, and I don't feel comfortable. I need to practice my German as well. Yeah. Ich spreche nicht Deutsch. Kein Deutsch. I don't know.
Are Germans like helpful when it comes to language? Did you have any situation in which you were completely helpless and someone was like, "Let me know if I can help you," or
Yeah,
was the main experience like more like distant?
mostly if I have like these kind of problems, for example, if you are in some German government organization and let's say in Ostlanderland or somewhere there, like the
Mhm.
foreign office, then they usually speaks, or for example Agentur for Arbeit, then they only speaks in German most of the time. So that time sometimes I can communicate my message like what I want to say or what I want to do or what they're asking, but sometimes things can get like very messy. Like when I don't understand, then I use either someone who maybe if they don't speak English, then I will ask like if they have someone who can speak or who can understand me. If not, then I can use like Google Translate or something. But
Mhm.
normally it works. It's not like that difficult. But yeah, sometimes I do need to explain that all the situation in clearly so they can understand, because they may understand not everything, but something which is not good, because you have to tell them all the story which you have, or the problem or whatever you have, to make them help you, because they are there to help you eventually. So that time I use either Google Translate or someone who can speak English. Otherwise, it's for example in the stores, or to communicate with someone, let's say on the roads or something, asking for directions, or maybe they are asking for something. That it's totally fine, because I can understand that level of German easily. That is not a problem. The only is the hardcore German is a bit problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think German is so difficult because there are like so many synonyms for one word. You have like it doesn't end, you know. It's
Yeah,
infinite. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, if you could choose again, would you choose Germany again, or would you go to a different country?
Portugal, say
Uh,
Portugal.
I would say Portugal, Spain, or something. But that only thing is the money problem. That's
Mhm.
why I
Yeah,
didn't say, honestly. So that is the only problem. But I think maybe I would say Australia, if not Germany. The reason is, of course, they are English speaking, and also I have like a lot of my relatives already living there. So I think it would be easier for me. But at the same time, maybe I will choose Germany again, but I'm not sure. But either Australia or Germany, depends.
I think that the sweetest spot is like Southern Europe, working remotely for Germany. I think
Perfect.
that's the dream.
True, true, true. For example,
Because Germany has high salaries, huh? The best option
Yeah.
is to live in Germany at the Swiss border and go to Switzerland to work because I have a lot of money, and then you live
uh,
your cheap life in Germany. Cheap, but like
So
in
wait, actually,
comparison.
let me make a twist in this episode. Ike, would you move to Switzerland or would you move out of Germany?
I moved out of Germany. I live in Italy.
You
So
are
that
living right now. I thought it was Erasmus.
no, I moved here for a whole year actually now, to finish my bachelor's degree, but also to do an internship. Like I'm here for a whole year now.
Yeah, but do you plan to
mhm.
stay there?
I could imagine that, yeah. Like after
All right.
my master's would be across Europe, and then I could imagine to come back. Like
So,
living here is much warmer, I would say.
Okay. Next season, Ike will be a guest, and I will ask more.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So
No,
where are you living in Italy? In
in
which
Milan.
city? Milan. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the thing is like warm was not related to the temperature, but really like the people.
Hmm.
Um
Of
and
course,
is
yeah.
that something you miss?
Sorry.
Is that something you miss, like the
Ah,
warmth of
yes,
people?
of course,
Yeah.
yes. Because like as I said, Portuguese, Spanish,
Mhm.
Slavic people, Italians, they are like more welcoming. Like I've been to like in Europe, I've been to like 25 countries, somewhat,
Oh, whoa.
and yeah,
That's way
I've
more than
traveled.
me.
So that's the benefit of earning in Germany. It's like you can have like that's true. That's true. So like I can tell you one story. Like last year, I was working for one company, and it was like remote work. It was like not remote work, but like 4 days remote and 1 day to office. And then I went to Greece on Thursday, and I said that I'm sick. Honestly, I said I'm sick, and then I called in sick, and then I went to Greece, and then I spent like 5 days there. And they were like, "Okay, Moise, when you're okay, then you can arrive. You can come back to office." And I was like, "Okay, I need some time to just relax." And I just checked on Google like which flights are cheaper. I got a flight for Greece, and I had like friends in Greece, and then I went there for like 5 days. That was the best time I needed at that time. So that's how I plan like instantly I plan, and then with Erasmus and everything, the things are like cheaper, of course, because you don't need to pay for travel and stuff, for accommodation, for food. What else you need? So Erasmus basically helped a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing. When people ask me if I feel German, I'm like, no, but I do feel European because right, it does feel like we have a lot of opportunities. There is a lot of community. So that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I always have the flag ready. But Ike was asking Moise if you miss the warmth. I would ask you what are things in general that you miss from Pakistan,
The
either
food
like just
probably, right?
nostalgia or things you'd wish you
Food,
could
yes.
bring to Germany.
I would say, of course, food, because, but I cook for myself, so that somehow balances out. But I missed to eat that food outside, for example, to the restaurant, because we have some restaurants here who are like Pakistani restaurant or something, but they don't cook that well, because it depends on the taste of the people who are their customers. So one thing that, of course, I miss my family because I am living alone here. So I missed my family sometimes, not every time, honestly, but sometimes because less drama is better than drama every time because it happens in our culture a lot. And that's it. Nothing else, honestly.
Nothing
Okay.
else. Crazy.
Nothing else.
And in the beginning of the episode, when you were giving context about yourself, you mentioned there's a lot of corruption in Pakistan. And
Of
as
course,
I told you when we talked before, that I followed the last elections in Pakistan, and there was like the president who was the cricket guy went to jail, and then people were saying the elections were fraudulent. Um, my question is more like, do you feel any hope that in the future it will get better, like in the next 10 or 20 or 50 years?
the thing is, the guy who got jailed was the best guy, and he was like he was in his second or third year, I think. Like we have like
Mhm.
5 year term to fulfill, and then the opposition parties who were like 4 or 5 parties, they got together, and then they did something which basically which basically put him in jail. And then we had like a makeshift government, and then election happened like before it should be. And then there another corrupt leader who basically served for like 15 years before as well, and his brother basically now is the leader of the party, and he's the prime minister. So the thing, to answer your question, will the things get better? I think so. Unfortunately, I don't see any positive hope so far. Unfortunately, but I don't see, because the thing is there's so much corruption, and how does it work basically? Because we have to choose from one corrupt guy to another corrupt guy, like who is the less corrupt one, you know?
Mhm.
So there is no one at the moment. There is no one who is like you can count on. For example, that okay, this guy or this girl, whatever, can change something. Of course, you cannot change overnight. It is going to take some years, of course.
Unity is the key word here, huh?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But at the same time, one of the things we are exploring with this podcast is exactly this. The country is, you cannot do much about it. Let's say the country is same about Portugal in this case. So if you you would want to change it if you could, but you don't feel like you have the power to do it. So
Yes.
you find a better life. You vote with your life, like you say. I will put my energy, my heart, my energy, my money, my work. I will put it somewhere else, and that will treat me better, even if it's not perfect. And so yeah,
Mm.
this is what we are exploring, and like trying to wrap it up. But maybe I will give Ike a final question if she so desires. I would thank you for coming and telling us your story. It was actually very interesting for me because I met Moiz and I developed the friendship with Moiz over the Erasmus project. But we never got to talk about his story.
Mm.
So it was really nice to hear it. Thank you.
Yes, for me it
Ike,
was
do you
very
have something
interesting too.
final?
No, I think we talked about the most important things. But if there's something more, we will definitely text you, and then we can
Cool.
like put a question in the caption or something like
Mhm.
that. Thank you
Yeah,
so
sure,
much.
sure.
This was so interesting.
Thank you so
This
much.
was also like
Mhm.
outside of Europe was also pretty nice, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And if there's any final words you'd like to say, like a message to the people of Europe, especially young people.
Okay. Yes. I would like to say one thing is there is always hope. It doesn't matter where you are living. You are in Europe. You are outside of Europe. Whatever. I know that there are so many problems going on in different areas, in different cities, countries, whatever. But there's always hope, and always remain hopeful, and also try to do something better than others. Or maybe if you are doing one deed, one good deed every day, then you are already making a good change, I think. And it's really important to trust yourself as well. So probably this, yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank you so
much.
much, guys.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
for
so much.
our viewers and our listeners, see you next episode. Thank you for watching and
Thank
listening.
you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.